I've owned my Tesla for about 2 years, and I've learned a lot. I've driven it over 30,000 miles. Maintaining the health of your Tesla battery is crucial for ensuring its performance and longevity. In this video, I'm going to go over 10 things that you should avoid if you want your Tesla battery to last. I'm also going to give you a few other tips on how to make it last longer and best practices for your Tesla. Let's get started. Number one, you need to know that Teslas have different types of batteries. Some are NMC batteries, and some are LFP batteries. I won't go into the exact differences between them, but they are different. Typically, the cheaper models, specifically the Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive, has an LFP battery. That's the one mine has. But there's going to be some tips, and they're different for different batteries because different batteries behave differently. That being said, if you have an NMC battery, you typically want to keep your charge between 20 and 90% for daily use. Avoid constantly charging it to 100% or letting the battery drop below 20%, as this can stress the battery and accelerate degradation. For NMC batteries found in long range and performance models, you want to set the charge limit to 80 to 90-ish% for daily driving. For LFP batteries, this is common in the standard range of Model 3 and Model Ys. Tesla recommends charging to 100% at least once a week to calibrate the battery management system and ensure accurate range estimates. However, avoid letting the battery sit at 100% for extended periods. Now, to implement this, just go to the Tesla app. You can affect the charge limit. If you're on the LFP battery, just keep it at 100. If you're on the NMC, you can bring it down to 80 or 90. Number two, keep your Tesla plugged in when not in use. Now, I'll admit there's some contradictory data towards this, but Tesla, who made the car, ultimately says best practice is to leave your vehicle plugged in, especially if it's going to be idle for days or even weeks. This is going to prevent the battery from discharging too low, which can damage it, and it will allow the BMS to maintain optimal battery temperature. Idle batteries can lose 1% of charge per day. This is called the vampire drain, whatever you want to call it. Keeping your car plugged in is going to ensure that your battery never gets too low and is ultimately in the healthy range. Now, if you're parking for an extended period, like at an airport, there's different things you can do, but to avoid battery drain, you might want to consider disabling Sentry mode and cabin overheat protection, because those obviously will drain your battery. Okay, number three, use a low voltage level 1 or level 2 charging for daily use. Prefer home charging with Tesla wall connector and mobile connector. Level 1 or 2 is usually the best way to go. Superchargers deliver high voltage, which can generate heat. Heat is bad for batteries. If you have excessive heat on the battery, it can wear it down quicker. Reserve supercharging for long trips. Don't avoid using it altogether. You got to use your car. But for daily charging, you probably don't want to use a supercharger. Now, that being said, if you've ever used a supercharger, you know that for tip 4, thing to avoid, you want to make sure you're preconditioning your battery before charging in extreme temperatures. Extreme cold or heat can stress the battery during charging. Use the Tesla app to precondition feature the warm or cold the battery before charging, especially with supercharging. It usually does this automatically if you're on a road trip, but nonetheless, you can activate preconditioning via the Tesla app or navigate to the supercharger, and it will automatically do it for you. This is also going to be a good segue into number 5. Tip number 5, avoid extreme temperatures when parked. I've said personally, the Tesla is a good car to use when you can park at home and park it in a garage. If I didn't have a garage, if I, was at an apartment complex, if I didn't have a home charger, I don't know if I'd enjoy my Tesla as much, and I don't know if it would be as good for the battery. So when you're looking at longevity, battery tips, by the way, it's taken into account how all Teslas are treated. Typically, if you're reducing high heat or super cold temperatures by being in a garage or a parking garage or whatever it may be, that's going to help. 6, drive efficiently to reduce battery strain. Basically, don't aggressively drive all the time. Now, I think this is more going to be to save your tires longevity, but it will also help your battery as well. Now, you got a fast car, you got a Tesla. Drive the way that you want to. Enjoy the car. Don't be the type of person that's scared about using your car just because you're going to ruin the battery. But, be prudent with it. Don't be wasteful. Fully charge your car every 3 months for balance batteries. Now, this is mostly for NMC, but it really applies to all Teslas. And the fact of the matter is, you got to charge it to 100% somewhat regularly. LFP is usually once a week, NMC about every 3 months. Now, if you remember from earlier, the NMC batteries, you're supposed to keep it between 20 and 80, but every 3 months it recommends, Tesla does, charging it to 100%. Number 8, keep your software up to date. Tesla's over-the-air software updates and optimizes battery management, charging algorithms, and thermal regulation. Regularly install updates to ensure your battery benefits from the latest improvements. They're always coming out with new ones. Number 9, avoid deep discharges. Letting the battery drop to 0% can damage the battery. Doesn't matter what type of battery you have, it's bad regardless. Don't do it. Try to prevent your battery from dropping super low. Pro tip, use the Tesla Energy app to monitor range and receive personalized efficiency suggestions. Last but not least, now if you stick to the end, we'll have another, handful of pro tips, but number 10 is monitor the battery health periodically. The latest software really lets you dive into the battery health. There's ways to look at it. We won't dive into the details, but you don't know what you don't know. So if you're monitoring your health, you're going to know if it's okay or not. Now, a couple tips here. Battery degradation. Expect 5 to 15% capacity loss after 50 to 200,000 miles, depending on the car, driving habits, type of battery. Degradation is usually front-loaded, which is good news. So you're going to get it, but then it's going to slow down. Now, depending on the car you have, you'll have a warranty that will cover batteries, that don't retain at least 70% capacity, typically for 8 years, 6 years, 100,000 miles, 150,000 miles. Another pro tip, LFP versus NMC batteries. LFP batteries in, the Model 3, Model Y are typically more durable and less sensitive to 100% charging. NMC batteries, they have to have a little bit more careful management. Battery replacement costs can be anywhere from $12,000 to $25,000 depending on the model. So you want to make sure you're being careful, and ultimately you can save your money. Sources from, all this data comes from Tesla's website, industry insights from a lot of EV-focused websites, and even X posts, Twitter posts about experts talking about best practices for the batteries. But if you follow these tips, you're going to minimize the wear and tear on your Tesla's battery. It's going to help the range. It's going to help the performance. Pretty good to know. So if you enjoyed these tips, if you have any more that you'd like to add, let them know down below in the comments. And thank you as always for watching.